Welcome, Legion. Today I want to talk to you guys about nutrition to help with your health, body composition, and performance. These are the three areas that we like to work on and focus on here at Luda Sports Performance. And we find it very important to approach it as a holistic, all-encompassing idea towards nutrition. I guess a lot of people see nutrition as a diet to either lose weight, maybe sometimes to gain a little bit of muscle mass. But we often see nutrition as it's really reflective through aesthetics, so wanting to look good, which is completely fine. We also work with people here who also want to do that as well, but we try to also encourage those people who are purely here for aesthetics and everyone else to look at it as the big picture. So even if our goal is to improve aesthetics or body composition, we should also try and improve health, and we should also try and improve performance at the same time. If one of the three or two of the three suffer because one of the others, we've got a bit of a problem. For instance, if we're shooting for a body composition goal, so trying to lose body fat, reduce our body fat percentage, or even increase lean muscle mass, but we're doing it at the risk of impairing our health or decreasing our performance, then we really need to consider what strategies we're actually using to get to our goal. Now, there is going to be periods of time where there will be subtle discrepancies and changes in those other areas, and that can be by design, that can be on purpose. For example, if you're gaining a little bit of lean mass, you're likely going to gain a little bit of body fat while you're doing that, just a little bit. This, therefore, would probably slow you down a little bit in your sprint. Ideally, if we can actually use this small period to gain a little bit of lean mass and maintain our speed, then once we've finished kind of gaining our lean mass and wanting to reduce our body fat percentage again, we should see pretty good changes in our speed. We should see a reduced time in speed. So now if we've got more lean muscle mass and we're faster, theoretically a better athlete. So the important thing is to ignore these other areas, okay? Because we know that yes, we can improve body composition in many different ways, but sometimes it's not always the best way, and sometimes it impairs our health, and sometimes it impairs our performance. So ideally what we're trying to encourage here is, we'll give you a hand with your goal, but we also need to focus on these other areas. Sometimes we also use body composition as a way to measure our performance or a way to help increase our performance. So even though our goal might be specifically for performance, by being a little bit leaner or having a little bit more lean mass, that actually might help us improve our sports performance. So it's important to us to measure all these things equally and just constantly track and reassess where we're at. Regardless of where the goal is, just constantly keep an eye on everything, just to make sure that everything is moving in the right direction. Now, what it can mean for each one is having good overall health means having more energy, better recovery, better quality of training. That's how it's going to improve sports performance. By training better and having more energy to do things, you're likely going to improve your body composition. And like I said, with our body composition, we now become more relatively stronger if we get a little bit leaner and increase some muscle mass. Okay, relative strength is one of the best indicators for sports performance. The best athletes in the world have the best relative strength. This is strength per kilo of body weight. And then obviously, if we're athletes, we're always looking for this edge, this overall performance outcome. So if we're stronger, we're fitter, we're faster, we can then transfer all this stuff to the sporting field and ideally perform at our very best on the big stage. I think the most important thing, though, to consider in all of this is to keep it really simple. Just work on the 99%. Everyone likes to focus on the 1%, especially with nutrition, the marginal gains, which is fair enough. If we've covered the 99, let's look into this 1%. Having said that, everyone pushes nutrition aside a little bit sometimes. And realistically, nutrition is the 99%. We actually spend more time eating than probably what we do training. Like it's a big area of our life, regardless of sports. Like you need to eat regardless. That's the thing. We're going to consume food regardless. So if we take a little bit more time and just focus on the simple things, don't get caught up with too much of the self-sabotaging diets and confusing schemes. Just keep it really simple. Fresh fruits and veggies, good healthy fats like nuts, seeds, olive oil, plenty of good quality meats and protein sources, yogurts, milk, cheese, fish, and a little bit of carbohydrate in the form of some starchy carbs like whole grain breads, whole pasta, brown rice, all these things. Really simple. You focus on them, that's the 99% right there. Once you cover the 99%, then we can start talking about this 1%, see how we can't get a little bit more out for you. Alright, thanks for that, guys.